without any delay. And the greatest tapasya is execution of the order of the spiritual master. And Supreme Lord becomes very pleased with the devotion of Brahmaji. And Lord Brahma had the opportunity to have Vaikuntha vision. And Supreme Lord personally shook his hand and asked benediction. Then Supreme Lord, being very pleased, spoke the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji and disappeared from his vision. Then Brahmaji further elaborated these topics and said to his dearest son Narada Muni, and then Narada Muni instructed Bhagavatam to Vyasadev, then to Sukadev Goswami. In this way, the parampara system begins. And this is a way how the Bhagavatam, which is the greatest transcendental literature, the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge, have all the answers to all the questions that can be humanly possible regarding universal affairs. So the glories of Bhagavatam in first canto, first chapter, verse number 3, Nigama kalpa tarur galita phalam sukam khadamrita davasam yutam pivata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rashika bhuvi bhavuka. Now we will begin. The Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. This is the continuation of Lord Brahma speaking to Narada Muni. And so this chapter have total 51 verses, and it can be divided into 4 sections. The first section, that is verse number 1 to 9, the 10 subject matter of Bhagavatam. Then section 2, verse number 10 to 35, Sarga, the primary creation, how the primary creation set information. Then third section, verse number 36 to 47, Visarga, the sub creation. And then last and final section, verse number...
Visarga, what did you say after Visarga?
Visarga, then section 4, Visarga, the sub creation.
Okay. Good.
Section 4, verse number 48 to 51, Sonaka Muni's inquiry about Vidura Maitreya Samvad to Srila Sutta Goswami. So let us begin section 1, verse number 1 to 9, the 10 subject matter of Bhagavatam. So, Shri Shuka Uvacha Atra Sarga Visarga Stanam Posanam Utaya Manmantara Ishanu Katha Nirodha Mukti Ashraya. The first subject matter is Sarga. Sarga is primary creation, which is done by Purusa Avatar, especially by Mahavishnu. And the definition of Sarga is Bhuta Maitrendriya Dhiyam Janma Sarga Udarata. Sarga is the elementary creation of 16 elements like sky, air, fire, water, earth, sound, touch, form, taste, smell, ear, nose, skin, eyes, tongue, and mind. Then other process of creation is the result of reaction between all these 16 elements. The detailed explanation of how these 16 elements are created we studied in third canto. When Mahavishnu have a glance on the material nature, by the influence of eternal time, jiva or living entities appear. The eternal time interact with Mahatattva and false ego. False ego came. Mahatattva is the germinating place for all the creation, and false ego is the first gift that material nature give to the living entities, and it is the first hindrance to accept the subordination of the Supreme Lord. Then false ego further react with the material modes, like mode of goodness, and it creates mind, and then it reacts with passion, intelligence form, then it reacts with ignorance and senses form. Then all the 16 elements gradually develop, like sound, sky, then touch, air, then form, fire, taste, water, smell, earth. All these creations are not gradual, they are all created simultaneously, and all the time Supreme Lord does not need to glance, because one glance is sufficient, and glancing of Mahavishnu is the life force, otherwise everything else is dead matter. Now the second subject, that is Visarga, the secondary creation, and it is done by Brahmaji. Brahmano guna Vaishamyat Visargaha Purusha Smritaha. The Lord Brahma took all these 16 elements and started sub-creation. Activity of the whole universe are started. Then the third subject is the Thana or planetary system or place. Titir Vaikuntha Vijaya. The real place of dwelling is the spiritual planet. The real place of dwelling of the living entities is not this material planet. This is spiritual planet, Vaikuntha. And it is the ultimate achievement of the living entity to go back home, back to Godhead. This material world is full of miseries and danger and not suitable for the living being to remain. So, in Brahmaji, in his prayer told, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-58, Samasritas ye pada pallavam mahatpadam punya yasho murari bhavam budhir vasya padam param padam yad vipadam na tesam. And the fourth subject is posana, which is maintenance, protection, and substance. Posanam tat anugraha. The Supreme Lord very mercifully created this material world because the reason of this creation is to give the fallen conditioned soul another chance to go back home, back to Godhead. And here in this material world, Supreme Lord not only creates but also He maintains very mercifully in all the level, either in universal level or in individual level. Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, we know how the Supreme Lord is very mercifully maintaining us and giving us posana. In Bhagavad Gita 15.13, Gama Vishya Bhutani Dharayami Ahamojasa Pumsami Choshadi Sarva Soma Bhutpara Satmaka 15.14, Aham Vishwanaro Bhutpa Praninam Dehamashita Pranapana Shamayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidham. So Supreme Lord not only mercifully giving us food to eat, but he also helps in digestion also and give us nutrients. So Supreme Lord is very mercifully giving us, protecting us and maintaining us. Then the fifth number subject matter is Utaya, that is creative impetus, or this is the consciousness or motivation before doing any action. Utaya karma vasana. Utaya is the reason behind our activity or our intention behind any activity. It can act as a filter before beginning any activity, whether it will progress our Krishna consciousness or not. And this is what Utaya is what we have to change. Then Manvantara, the change of Manus. Manvantarani Sadharma. The directive scriptures made by Manus in different ages, millenniums are called Sadharma, good guidance for the human beings. The greatest achievement of a living entity is to going back to Godhead, and in this connection, Sadharma is very significant. And then, what is Sadharma? It is the duty performed for going back to Godhead and thus becoming unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Then, who can tell us what is Sadharma? Ado Guru Padasraya Diksha Guru Sevana Sadharma Preksha Sadhu Mam Anugraha. It is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22:115. One must accept a bona fide spiritual master, then ask, what is my duty? The real duty. Devotional service rendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only pious activity. Others may seem to be pious, but actually they are not. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.21, te tam bhuktva sarva lokam visanti, chine punye matya lokam visanti, evam traye dharmam anuprana gatagatam karma kama labhante. Any activity bereft of devotional service is a bondage and cause of next life. To work situated in Sadharma is the right direction of life. Our aim should go back home, back to Godhead, and cut this cycle of repeated birth and death. Then seventh topic is Isanukathanam. Isanukatha, the science of Godhead. Avataranu Charitam Hare Chasyanu हरिश्चस्यानु वर्तिनां पुंसाम् ईसा कथाया प्रोक्ता नाना शानोपापन्नितः. Srimad Bhagavatam is also known as Paramahamsa Samhita. In first 9 canto describes the devotees of Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is the narration of loving exchange of the Supreme Lord and his devotees to revoke and revive our then lost relationship. Then salvation is guaranteed. The Isanu Katha or Science of Godhead is vividly described in 7th canto. Then the 8th number subject matter is Nirodha, which is winding off. When the subtle body completely purified, no more birth, going back to home, back to Godhead, it is called Nirodha. Nirodha asyanusyanam atmanah sah sakti. There are two types of living entities like Nitya Baddhas and Nitya Muktas. And material nature is to give two conditions. Like first condition, the conditioned soul can act according to his own tendency to lord it over the material nature, which is done by Nitya Baddhas. And next, gives the conditioned living entity a chance to go back to Godhead. Krishna so mercifully gives scriptures. By reading and hearing the transcendental topics of Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can purify his existence. All the Vedic literature aim at devotional service to Personality of Godhead, and one who fixed in this process of hearing and chanting at once become liberated from the conditioned life. So we must have trust in scripture, sadhu and spiritual master. The 9th number subject matter is mukti. Mukti is liberation. It is the permanent situation of the living entity after he gives up the gross and subtle material body. Mukti hi hitvanyartha rupam swarupena vyavastita. Then the 10th subject matter, the samambonam asraya. This is the final culmination of all the 10 topics. Supreme Soul, the Supreme Lord, is the reservoir of everything and He is the cause of winding up. He is the Ashraya Tattva. Abhasascha nirodhascha yato asti अध्यावश्यते स आश्रय param brahma paramatmeti sabdayate. Here the three levels of realization is explained: Brahmeti, Paramatmeti and Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is mentioned as Asraya. He is our ultimate resting place, the Samam Bonam. Lord Krishna is Bhagavan because Lord Krishna is accepted as Supreme Personality of Godhead in both Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28, Etecham sakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakula Lokam Nidayanti Yuge Yuge. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Himself declares in 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava Matta Sarva Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajate Mam Buddha Bhava Shamanvita. And in 7.7, Matta Parantara Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya Mai Sarvam Ida Pruktam Sutre Manigana Ivam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, established Krishna is the source of all incarnation. In 9th chapter of second canto, in Saturshloki Bhagavatam, Lord spoke, Aham eva sham eva gre nanyat jat sat asat param paschat aham tadechat aitachayo shishateshu asniham. In Brahma Samhita also, Brahma ji gave the conclusion, Ispara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Ispara Parama Krishna. The supreme controller is the personality of Godhead and is controlling everything in his binary manifestation of Paramatma and Supersoul. The controlling living entities the controlled living entities are called Adhyatmic person. The controller is called Adidaivic person and the gross embodiment is called Adibhautik person. So Adhyatmic is soul, Adidaivik is demigods and Adibhautik is gross body. All these above three stages of living entities are interdependent. But the Supreme Lord, who is controlling everyone, is independent of all. He is the shelter of shelter, the supreme shelter, Asraya. In Bhagavatam 1.1.1, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्मादि यस्य यतो अन्वयात् इतरश्च अर्थेषु अभिज्ञा स्वराटः. So Swaratah is Supreme Lord is mentioned at Swaratah, the fully independent. No one can control him. In Bhagavad Gita 15.18, Yasmat Sharam Atitoham Aksharat Apichottama Atoashmi Loke Vede Cha Pratitah Purushottama. Lord Krishna is Purushottama, the source of everything. Thus, Lord Krishna is the ultimate source of shelter, Asraya. Then, um, दशमस्य विशुद्धि अर्थम नवानाम इह लक्षण बनयन्ति महात्मानः श्रुतेन अर्थेन च अज्ञास. The 10th topic is very important and other 9 topic of Bhagavatam are leading to the 10th one. The Mahatmas explains these transcendental topics in 3 ways. Shrutena, Arthena, Cha, Ajnasa. Like Shrutena is hearing directly, for example, Sutta Goswami, and Arthena is direct explanation, and Anjasa is summary. Then section 2nd, verse number 10 to 35, Sarga, the primary creation. The primary creation set into information after Mahavishnu, the first Purusha avatar, entered into the each universe in the form of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. The total material creation is fully dependent on Supreme Lord. Maya adhyeksena prakriti shuyate sacharacara. And the foolish people think that the creation begins on its own. Avajananti mamudha manusim tanumashritam param bhava ajananto mama utpa maheswaram. The Supreme Lord is a person and he is not impersonal. He is known as Nara and the water is emanating from him. So water is known as Nara and he is lying on the water. So he is known as Narayana. All the material ingredients, activities, time, modes, all are exist by the Lord's mercy only. The Supreme Lord is supreme enjoyer and living entities are meant to assist the Lord in the enjoyment and participate in transcendental enjoyment. The enjoyer and enjoyed both participate in enjoyment, but deluded by illusion, we all want to become enjoyer. The Lord, while lying on his bed of mystic slumber, generated the seminal symbol golden hoop through the external energy out of his desire to manifest varieties of living entities from himself alone. Lord's potency is divided into 3, like controlling entities, Adi Daivam, control entities, Adhyatma, and material bodies, Adi Bhutam. From ether or sky, present within the body of Mahavishnu, sense energy, mental force, and bodily strength are manifested. As as well as the sum total of fountainhead of total living force is generated. The 16th verse established how Lord Krishna is the call of all causes. As the follower of king follow their Lord similarly, when total energy in motion, all the entities move and the total energy stops, endeavoring other total energy stops, all the endeavoring other living entities stops the sensual activities. Living force agitated by Virat Purusha generated hunger and thirst. When he desired to eat and drink, the mouth opened. Mouth manifested, then palate, then tongue, and then different taste. The controlling deity is Varuna. Here the gross sense organ like mouth, tongue, palate are Adi Bhutam. The subtle sense organ are Adhyatma and the controlling demigod are Adi Daiva. The Supreme Lord desired to speak. Speech vibrated from the mouth, controlling deity is fire. One who violates the controlling regulation has to be punished by the degradation of status of life, lower status of life. Example, Varuna is controlling deity of tongue, which is meant to release only Krishna Prasad. But one who is violating such rule and must face the resultant reaction. An irresponsible life of indiscrimination is very risky, and that is the declaration of all scriptures. The Supreme Lord desired to smell odor, and nostril and respiration were generated. Nasal instrument order controlling deity of air with Ashwini Kumar smell also manifested. The Lord desired to see himself and all that was created, and then eyes and illuminating sun god becomes manifested. The whole phenomenal world become visible after the creation of sun god and the foundation of desire of Supreme Lord to see. By the development of desire of great sages to know the ears, the power of hearing, the controlling deity of hearing and object of hearing become manifested. The great sages were interested in hearing about the Lord through the basic knowledge and nothing more. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.20, the ears which is not accustomed to hear the Harikatha are compared to snake hole. When there was desire to perceive the physical characteristic of matter, softness, hardness, warmth, cold, background, of touch, sensation, skin pores, hairs on the body and their controlling deities, trees were generated. Now, the development of working senses, both hand and both the hand, uh, the controlling deity Indra developed. Then the Virat Purusha desiring to control the movement of his legs become manifested and controlling deity Vishnu which is not the supreme personality of Godhead, and and this Vishnu is a demigod Vishnu, which is mentioned in translation of 3.6.22. The sexual pleasure, begetting offspring, and tasting of heavenly nectar, the Lord developed genitals and genital organ, and controlling deity is Prajapati. The Virat Purusha desire to evacuate and evacuating whole anus sensory organ and controlling deity Mitra developed. Then, when he desired to move from one body to another, the navel, the prana-vayu, and apana were created. The navel is the joint from one body to another. The Lord Brahma born from abdomen of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Similarly, all the living entities also connect through the umbilical cord with their mother. When there was a desire to have food and drink, abdomen, intestine, and arteries develop. The river and seas are the controlling deities of abdomen and intestine. The body's health is dependent on the healthy action of intestine and arteries. When there was a desire to think about its own energy, then the heart, seat of mind, and the controlling deity moon developed. Then the creation of seven elements of body, like the thin layer of skin, flesh, blood, fat, marrow, bone marrow, are formed. And from earth, water, fire, light breath is produced. And by sky, water, air, both the
Your voice is not coming.
in both the cases. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Then the creation of seven elements of the body, thin layer of skin, flesh, blood, fat, marrow, bone are formed from earth, water, fire. And the life breath is produced by sky, water, air. In both the cases, water is present. So water is one of the vital elements. The breathing air of life produced by sky, air, water. There are therefore open air, regular bath, ample space is very important for healthy living. Fresh vegetable, fresh water, and heat is good for um, uplift the gross body. Srimad Bhagavatam have all the answer how to keep our both gross body and subtle body healthy. Then section 3, verse number 36 to 47. It is Visarga, sub-creation. The Supreme Lord is transcendental. Although he appears to be engaged in the process of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, he is remain aloof. In 4.4, 14, Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phalaspriha, iti mam yo vijananti karma bhinasa badhyate. Then Brahmaji started creation, beginning with Daksha, Manus, demigods, Bhrigu, the inhabitant of different planets like Pitraloka, Siddhaloka, Chanara, Gandharva, Asura, Sarpaloka, monkey, ghost, serpent, etc. All the moving and non-moving entities, every variety of living entities were created. The living entity is born from embryo, which is known as Jarayuja. The living entity is born from eggs, Andaja. The living entity is born from perspiration, Svedaja. And the living entities which born out of germination, Udbhija. All are created. Every living entity got their body according to their past deed. The living entities are created according to their moods. Supreme Lord is our only maintainer. In whatever journey we got, He maintains the all the creation irrespective of their species, mode of nature, etc. The Supreme Lord Himself incarnate in different species of life. Activities of Lord are not limited to the human society. In Queen Kunti's prayer, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.30, Queen Kunti prays that Janma Karmascha Vispatma Ajat Akartus Atmanah Triyan Rishichu Jadahasu Tad Adyanta Vidambana. Lord's activities and words are transcendental, that can't be understood through the material knowledge. Only fools deride the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. That is 9.11. Avajananti mamudha manuchintanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto ama bhutva maheshwara. Like a frog who remains in a well, consider the well to be ocean. Like that, a foolish person with his imperfect material knowledge can't be able to know the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord, that is Param Bhava. After the end of the millennium, the Supreme Lord Himself, in the form of Rudra, destroys the complete creation as the wind displaces clouds. The unalloyed pure devotees of the Lord take part in direct pleasure, Ananda, potency of the Lord. The process of creation begins with the Lord, Brahma, and his days are called Kalpa. So there are three kinds of Kalpa, that is Mahakalpa. When 60 elements are created by Mahavishnu, that is known as Mahakalpa. Then when creation of Brahma and disappearance and dispersion of material ingredients occur, that is called Vikalpa. And Kalpa is one day of Brahma. And there are 30 kinds of Kalpa. And Brahmaji is speaking to Narada Muni in this topic is in Varaha Kalpa, or it is known as Padma Kalpa, because Lord Varahadev appears in this Kalpa. Then the section 4, verse 48 to 51, Sonaka Rishi's inquiry about Vidurji and Maitra Muni. Sonaka Muni showed very eagerness to hear the topic discussed between Vidurji and Maitra Muni. The reason why Vidur left all the family connection, where he again come back home, and activities performed by Vidurji while he was in pilgrimage. Then Sutta Goswami started explaining in answer to King's Parikshit inquiry. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Excellent. Pradeep, you review. You were reading all the verses. When the other devotees are giving, all others should be reviewing. You should take notes and you should review from the entire chapter on the verses, translation, and the purport. It is not that one person is, doing his homework and presentation and others are switched off. No. So you please evaluate on three aspects. One, how much she covered the topic, how much was the knowledge translated into understanding, and to what extent she was able to present that knowledge. Second, the examples and the references she quoted. And third, how was the flow? And if she had, if she did not cover something, then you should speak about that as well. Okay? And what were the good points and where is the scope of improvement? I am telling you for everyone. Okay? और किससे मैं बोलूंगा रिव्यू करने के लिए, वो आप लोग को लास्ट में पता चलेगा, पहले नहीं बताऊंगा। चलो प्रदीप, begin.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। So, Mataji presented very precisely in a short time. He covered all the 50 verses, 55 verses, almost like 40 minutes. So, she precisely explained about the circus creation, about the 10 division, 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. She quoted many Srimad Bhagavatam verses and the Bhagavad Gita verses related to the topics. That was appreciated.
Understanding and knowledge part.
As for the Mataji is subdivided into three sections. So, she covered two sections very precisely, and the last section, maybe due to time concern, she completed in short time.
That is okay. That is always there.
Right.
She covered the first portion very extensively. I am mighty pleased. The entire 10 topics she covered very vividly. She covered the entire purports also. Very good. Excellent. I am asking about the knowledge part, understanding and knowledge about this chapter. Based on our presentation.
Starting, Mataji covered. So he started with the previous sections and covered
No, that
the.
is true. I am asking you, what is your assessment on our understanding of the subject matter and the knowledge? Purushottam, what is your assessment?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू माता जी। माता जी ने बहुत अच्छे से प्रेजेंट किया। स्पेशली जो जो मतलब मुझे बहुत अट्रैक्ट किया माता जी का जो लास्ट उन्होंने प्रेजेंट किया था कि समम वनम का, कि हाउ कृष्ण इज आश्रय। सो माता जी कोटेड सो मेनी वर्सेस
Yes.
and माता जी एक्सप्लेन वेरी नाइसली कि हाउ कृष्णा इज आश्रय by quoting Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita verses.
Okay, Pradeep. Where is the scope of improvement? What improvement you would suggest?
We can quote a few more verses only.
Come again. What did you say?
Few more. He quoted almost like Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. But if she gives some more relevant, she already given. But if we discuss more about the references more, that's all very good.
No, you're not clear. I could not hear what you said. What she should
If
quote
she
more?
gives from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, for better understanding, for more understanding, if she quote few more verses, that was good.
More verses? She quoted so many verses. I don't think anyone else can quote so many verses. She would have quoted more than 20 verses. Be specific, precise. You should be able to assess properly. If any portion of purport or any principle she could not cover, that you can mention. For that, you have to read the purport. See, how can you access that when she is presenting, at that time, we have to have our book and very quickly go through everything, even faster than what she is presenting. Then you will be able to pick up that where she has left. Otherwise, how you will pick up? You will never be able to pick up. And at that same moment, whenever you find something, you should have a piece of paper there, you should point it. That is absorption. Huh? So all of us, she made us go through the entire chapter. What we would have discussed in 1 month, she went through in one session. Okay, but you see, from next time you have to improve. All of you, I want proper assessment of all the 4 aspects: strengths, weakness, improvements, and acknowledgements. I must say, I am completely elated. Excellent presentation. Excellent. 9.5 out of 10. I cannot give 10. But at least 9. Stop to give Bhagavatam class. Little bit of more tuning, a little bit of more churning of the purports. You are ready for Bhagavatam class. Priyanka?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Priyanka. Quickly. It's getting late.
Thank you Ramya Mataji for your presentation. और एक्चुअली इस चैप्टर में बहुत सारे ऑलमोस्ट 51 वर्सेस हैं और इन सबको इतने शॉर्ट टाइम में माता जी ने बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है और फर्स्ट जो 10 सब्जेक्ट मैटर है इनको माता जी ने थ्रू वर्स बाय वर्स ना जा करके पूरा 10 के 10 उन्होंने मतलब मर्ज करके मतलब अच्छी तरह से एक के बाद एक और कई सारे भगवत गीता और रेफरेंस दिया है उन्होंने
नहीं, मैं देख रहा था परपोर्ट से
जी
ही निकाले हैं वो सारे वर्सेस, कहीं इधर उधर से नहीं डाले हैं। वो नहीं डालना, वो मत करना, नहीं तो आप लोग अभी इमेच्योर है, फंस जाओगे। वो बेवकूफी मत करना, जबरदस्ती मत करना। जो जहां फिट बैठता है उसको वहीं से बस प्रेजेंट करो। ओके, थैंक यू
इस
वेरी मच।
चैप्टर
हाँ बोलो।
और इस चैप्टर में मोस्टली ये है कि द creation made by the supreme lord and he is the
टेक्निकल
supreme controller
टेक्निकल है ये चैप्टर उतना इजी नहीं था, टेक्निकल है। आई एम वेरी हैप्पी शी हैज ग्रास्प्ड द फुल फ्लो ऑफ द चैप्टर। बिल्कुल सही, टेक्निकली शी वाज प्रेजेंटिंग ऑलमोस्ट परफेक्टली, कहीं फ्लॉ नहीं दिखा मुझे, बिल्कुल सही पकड़ा और बिल्कुल एकदम स्टेप बाय स्टेप चली है। वेरी गुड। So
yes
she
sir
took time, but good. But now you please, all of you, I don't want you to degrade the standard. समझ गए? खासकर दयाशील प्रभु, because unless and until you put your heart, you will never be able to present like this. आप 2 3 4 बार पढ़िए, सुनिए, बिना सुने नहीं आ सकता है। How many times you heard? रम्या?
Prabhuji, at least 2 times every verse.
नहीं, कितने लेक्चर सुने आपने?
10 12 लेक्चर 2 बार 24 बार सुनी।
24 लेक्चर सुने, तभी संभव। वो फ्लो में देख रहा था ना, जो फ्लो मैंने दिया आपने पकड़ रखा था, वो बिना सुने नहीं हो सकता है। एक्चुअली बिना सुने तो आएगा ही नहीं, फ्लो ही नहीं बनेगा। आप 10 बार पढ़ लो, 100 बार पढ़ लो, 100 पढ़ के नहीं फ्लो बना पाओगे, बनेगा ही नहीं। बहुत अच्छा, वेरी गुड, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर रेजिंग द स्टैंडर्ड। बहुत अच्छा। अभी तो मेरे को और कन्विक्शन हो गया, यू शुड ऑल टीच। इसीलिए ट्रेनिंग दिया जा रहा है। दिस ट्रेनिंग विल बी फॉर वेरी फ्यू, बिकॉज दिस ट्रेनिंग इज वेरी प्योर, and those who are really pure, they can only remain in this. Others Krishna will not allow. तुम्हारी वाइफ सुन नहीं रही है पुरुषोत्तम? कहाँ है वो?
यस सो
उसको भी बोलो प्रेजेंट करेगी, धीरे धीरे पकड़ेगी। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट टू प्रेजेंट टुमारो। प्रियंका आपका है?
नहीं,
हाँ,
प्रभु जी का है।
रविंदर?
यस प्रभु जी।
यार रात में सो चाहे ना सो, उससे मुझे मतलब नहीं है, प्रेजेंटेशन प्रॉपर होना चाहिए पूरा। समझ गए?
ठीक है प्रभु।
कितने महीनों के बाद आ रहा है? इस साल में तो पहले ही प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हो क्या? मेरे ख्याल से इस साल में तो पहले ही प्रेजेंटेशन आ रहा है। हमने नहीं किया है, इस साल में प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं किया है।
शायद नहीं किया है।
नहीं किया ना? सेकंड कैंटो हमने उस समय लास्ट ईयर में कंप्लीट कर लिया था। अरे 9 चैप्टर पे आ गए हैं भाई, एक महीने में एक ही चैप्टर होता है। इस साल में प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं हुआ है।
नहीं हुआ है प्रभु जी।
हाँ, नहीं हुआ है, बट इट वॉज वर्थ द वेट। ओके, then we will not have it on Saturday because Saturday is holiday. So you will present 3.1, Ravindra Prabhu.
यस प्रभु।
3.2 किसका है?
इट्स मी प्रभु।
It's please prepare very thoroughly. Yeah, you can use PPT also. Like she was speaking, if you can show also, it will be even more effective. It will be easy to retain and remember. इतना याद तो नहीं हो सकता, संभव नहीं है। ओके, वेरी गुड, थैंक यू वेरी मच। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण।